right, so you guys can see my screen. Again, thank you, Ima, for hosting this webinar. And for all of you guys who's attending this session, I'd love to hear from you guys later. For the next 20 minutes, we will be delving into a brief intro about CRM. And our agenda will be why you need a CRM. What is a CRM? We're going to define that. I want to give you a brief run through in terms of the Salesforce capabilities. I won't be able to give you the full extent of its power, but just some highlights. And then I'd like to give you some tips in terms of how you can start your whole CRM strategy. And also I'll give you a quick intro about who we are and why we exist as a business. So the World Economic Forum said that we are in the fourth industrial revolution. This means that we're going through a period of such rapid technology change that the way we live our lives are transforming tremendously. All of the other technologies such as VR, cloud computing, digital assistants, social and mobile, they're all incredibly powerful on their own, but they're converging, amplifying, and feeding off each other. And this is impacting all disciplines, economies, and industry, and it's dramatically improving the efficiency of organizations. The resulting shifts and disruptions that mean that we live in a time of great promise and also creating a lot of problems for businesses. We now have the potential to connect billions more people to digital networks. This has made all of us and our customers a connected customer who expects a connected, seamless, frictionless, personalized experience. It is not just our behavior that has changed as a consumer, but also our expectations. And as a business, we need to meet them there. Most companies, though, are overwhelmed. They do not feel prepared. They feel held back with their disparate, disconnected systems. These systems are not talking to each other, and it's not giving really that opportunity for different business functions to provide that personalized experience. In the fourth industrial revolution, I often tell my customers that if you are not the one disrupting your industry, you are the one getting disrupted. Perfect example of this is Amazon, who has found a way not just to provide the consumer's needs, but also anticipate it through AI and predictive intelligence. This has totally obliterated its competitors like other retail brands globally. Like Steve Jobs said, it is important now more than ever to get closer to your customers, so close that you tell them what they need before they realize it. So how exactly do we do this? This is where a CRM can help. It is a tool designed to improve business relationships by managing all of your company's interactions with new prospects and existing customers, more importantly. A CRM helps companies stay connected to customers, streamline processes, improve profitability at the same time. Oftentimes, when people are talking about a CRM, they're usually referring to a tool that helps with contact management, sales leads, sales management. But for me, sales is just one component when it comes to your relationship. A CRM system should be able to give you all of the different functions like service, even like marketing, even finance, and even all of the online transactions. And it's a better way to be able to manage the external interactions and relationship that ultimately drive customer success and the business success. So it becomes the repository for a single view of your customer, one central dashboard for your business. It also helps you in terms of ensuring that all of the data that you're getting from all of your digital channels, from all of the apps in your business are in this one system. So that ultimately it provides you that single view of your customer to be able to deepen the relationship and for you to be able to provide that personalized experience. We live in a world where data is a new oil. First-party data collection is considered your business asset investment and it's expected to perform as revenue channel based on lifetime value. You've got companies like Uber and Twitter, they're not really like generating profit, but because they have immense customer data, their valuation is in the billions. So here is an example of a CX architecture, a customer experience architecture of a mid-sized retail brand. On the left, these are your internal team. On the right here is your customer. So these are the different channels that is touching your customers from different business functions, from your store, from your brick and mortar, from the service team, and also the marketing team. In the middle are all of the systems that bridges that interactions between your internal team and your customer. All of these systems or channels are giving you valuable information. So as you can see here in your ERP that connects your store to your customer, it has all of the information in terms of the account, the sales order, the product, the subscription, and the returns. And then this proximity insight is what connects all of the store transactions, the brick and mortar store transactions anywhere globally, and bring it to this one central dashboard, which is your CRM. Obviously, your e-commerce brings all of the digital transactions into that as well. And it also gives you that abandoned shopping cart, abandoned browse, and collect code that will really like provide that increase in terms of the revenue. So now that we have defined what a CRM is, I want to show you some of Salesforce basic capabilities. I have some screenshots here. As you can see here, this is the homepage. It's a very sexy, intelligent homepage. It features a lot of things. The first thing here is a quarterly performance. As a sales rep, what you want to see is your performance, how you're doing for that day or for that month. And that quickly gives you that view. So it has the ability to motivate you or panic you as a salesperson, depending on your performance. But it's good to see that before as you start your day. It also has this assistant. So I find this really amazing because like, as you can see here, immediately you see that you have 2 new leads. And as a sales rep, that's gold, right? And you also have your opportunities here. Opportunities are qualified leads that is almost ready to buy. And it shows you the different tasks that you have so that you'll be able to progress it to the next sales cycle. Right here is the news. These are the news about your customers. So it gives you an insight, a quick pulse in terms of the industry. So when you call them, you can easily share like information about their business. It shows that you are really in the know in terms of information about them, that you are a trusted advisor. At the same time, you've got your upcoming events. It shows you what are your meetings for the day so you don't miss them, and the different tasks that you have set for that particular day. And that's just the homepage. The next one is opportunity workspace. So this is very important because this is what manages this different sales cycle, the stages of the different sales cycle. So easily you'll see here the different stage cycle. So for example, for this one, you're still in the needs analysis. What's amazing here is that on the right, it gives you that coaching. It gives you some guidance for success. If you're still trying to figure out and you are still in the needs analysis sales cycle, it's important for you to clearly articulate to your customer, why is the solution a good fit? How is the solution better than the competitors? What are the different resources available to implement the solution? Sometimes as a salesperson, because you've got so many activities that you need to think about, it's hard to articulate and clearly kind of like narrow down what are the things that you need to do in order for you to progress your sale to the next stage. You also have other important information here. Like for me, this is the most important thing, the profitability. 35%. It's always important to show like the value in terms of like how much can you actually make from the solutions to ensure that the solution that you're providing is profitable for the business. You also have here the different contact roles. For a sizable transaction, it's hardly the case where you only are speaking to one person. It's important to understand and have a relationship with all of the different stakeholders that you have who will be making a decision in terms of that solution that you're offering them. And last but not the least is a campaign influence. So this shows all of the different marketing interactions that you've had with a customer. If they've opened it, if they attended your event. So it gives you that view in terms of your relationship with a customer ultimately. The next is Opportunity Kanban. This is another thing that is a favorite of mine because very simply I could see like the different amount of deals that I have for each of the sales cycle. So it also is just a drag and drop feature for you to like progress it to the next phase. And when I look at this, I'm like, okay, how come my deals are not progressing? Or I've only closed $550,000. If you have a quota of like $1 million, then you know that you need to close these 2 deals here in the negotiation. And based from the previous slide that I showed you, it has some guidance in terms of how you can progress it to the next sales cycle. And then I also shared that a CRM should have the capability to show you the service inquiries as well. So Salesforce also has that. As you can see here, these are all of the open cases in the company, but I have one particular open, which is my customer, which is a Wizard Pharmacy. Here you see all of the different email conversations I've had with that customer. So it shows me all of the transaction, all of the historical transaction or conversation and interaction that I've had with that customer. And then you're able to create a case as well very easily, log a call, or send a new email. Here you also see the different opportunities, all of the different accounts, and all of the different cases. So it's showing you really all of the interactions that you had with that customer. And the most important part is the reports and dashboards. I always say that you cannot manage what you cannot measure. And the good thing about Salesforce, it has the ability to slice and dice the data in a million ways. It allows you to apply complex filtering logic, summarize and group your data, and really for you to be able to manage the metrics that matters to your business, not just in sales, not just in service, but also in marketing. Okay, so we've had kind of like defined what the CRM is. We've also kind of like delve into why we need a CRM and some capabilities. You're probably asking, okay, how can I start? How can I have, build a strategy? I have 6 simple steps here. For me, it's very simple. What you need to do is first identify the business problems. What business problems are you trying to solve short-term and long-term? I often ask a customer like, what is hurting you the most right now? What is really like, stopping the business from growing to where it needs to be? Where are you like not being able to optimize your costs? So you figure it out, you list it all down and group them together. Do you need more sales? Do you need to close sales faster? Do you need to improve efficiency, operational efficiencies? Do you need to service your customer better? List it all down and prioritize it based on what will give the business the strongest impact. The next thing you need to look at is your forecasted business growth. So if you want to triple the size of your business for the next 1 year, you also need to think about the CX architecture, similar to what I showed you earlier. What systems will you be needing to support that growth? Obviously, you need to have that sales CRM, and when you increase your sales, you need to be able to bring in that service capability. What about loyalty? What about an ERP? What about an app that allows you to bring in that data from your brick and mortar store? So you need to list that all down. This is also a good time to reimagine your customer touch point and the customer journey in the different life cycle with a business. I would suggest as well that at this stage, once you have identified your business problems, you have prioritized them, you have forecasted the business growth, this is a good time for you to start engaging the executives and start presenting a preliminary business case. It doesn't have to be a perfect plan. It can just be an initial idea. It's just good to get the go signal to proceed so that you know that you're aligned in terms of where the business is headed, and you don't go any further without wasting your time. It's also very important to note that not having executive buy-in for any technology or CRM initiatives is a top 5 reasons why CRM projects fail. So it's important to have that executive and stakeholders buy-in in the beginning. So now once you have that green light, it's time to set a clearly defined vision. A clearly defined vision has metrics for success. For example, based on the problems you have identified, You want to say that my vision is to be able to increase new business by 20%. I want to be able to retain and increase the spend of existing customer by 10%. I want to be able to decrease the service costs by 10%. I want to increase the marketing conversions by 10%. All 10%, no, maybe increase marketing conversions by 20%. So the important thing is that the measures are defined in terms of what makes it successful. And that's a clearly defined business objectives or vision. This is also a good time to build a roadmap. So you build a roadmap by auditing your current state and then creating a vision of your future state. A roadmap is the one that identifies the steps for you to get there in a prioritized manner. So how do you prioritize? It's always good to start in terms of providing, like understanding what is it the easiest thing that the team can implement that will give you the quickest result. And we call that the low-hanging fruit. So once you've seen all of that, you need to provide and prioritize it from the easy to provide the biggest result, and then hard but provides the biggest result as well. It's important for you to provide specific timeline once you've prioritized all of that activities that bridges you, or the roadmap that gives you to your future state, that leads you to your future state. And you need to provide a specific timeline for each of these activities. It's good to group them on a quarterly basis. And you decide whether you want to do that in a year or 2 years in terms of achieving those business objectives you've set. And then provide the team, assemble the team, and put like a person in charge. This is also a good time to leverage a solutions provider. It's also good to leverage their expertise in helping you build a business case, a vision, and ROI studies, or show them like, get them to show you like success stories, like for you to be able to understand what are the global best practice. And then lastly, you need to build your team, both internal and external. So understand that this is a journey. It is a learning journey for your team. It's important to constantly measure your success and go back to that clearly defined vision and focus in terms of the priorities that you've set. You need to be able to celebrate the quick wins and always go for the quick wins so that you constantly show business result. Right? It's also important to over communicate to all of your stakeholders. So stakeholders they're not just your executives or your direct reports. It's also the different departments that you need to collaborate with. Also the team that you're working with. If you can communicate, over communicate the different, the progress, first of all, the quick wins that you're getting, even the challenges and the different phases you're at, and the success. So it's good to always communicate that so that you bring them along in terms of this transformation journey. So something like this will be very challenging. It is a transformation, and remember that if it's challenging, it's good, because if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So which one? So that's always a very good question to ask. There's always a long list of options for you guys. So I'm not in a position to tell you the capabilities of other software, but this is what I want to give you. This is a study from Gartner. In Gartner, it shows that Salesforce is leading, but I'm not going to tell you that Salesforce is the only solution for you. You always go back to, identifying your problems, how you start, and then also figure out what is your budget, right? And also what are the different functionalities that you need. When we started the business, we didn't start with Salesforce. We started with a free tool. But just remember, if you're going to start with a point solution, just have a clear understanding that as you forecast your growth, a point solution won't be able to, solve all of the business problems that you might have when your growth accelerates. So as long as that's clear to you, it'll be easy for you to manage that. So that's what Gartner says. Salesforce is #1, but you also have other, great tools out here, which is like Microsoft, Oracle, Zendesk. It's always good to check, the different options that you have. Finances Online says that HubSpot is #1. Salesforce is #2. So it's good to, go shopping, and like I said, leverage the solutions provider in terms of providing you the best information. Like, look for the success stories in terms of the similar industry. So that's my advice to you guys. Just a quick intro about us. We exist as a business. We want to be your trusted customer experience technology partner. We specialize in terms of implementing Salesforce technology, but we're also using other tools such as Conga, Crow, Jitterbit to really provide that solution to our customers. And improve their customer experience. So we do that through three things: providing you marketing advice, providing the roadmap, the health checks, the quarterly business reviews. We implement technology, and we also provide managed services.